Duke Fakir, last surviving member of the Four Tops, dies at 88. He sang tenor on hits like Standing in the Shadows of Love, Reach Out, I'll Be There, and I Can't Help Myself, Sugar Pie Honey Bunch. Abdul Fakir, who was known as Duke, the last remaining original member of the Four Tops, one of Motown's best-selling and most beloved groups, dies on Monday at his home in Detroit. He was 88. His family said in a statement that the cause was heart failure. Mr. Fakir sang his first tenor with the Four Tops, who were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1990. The group's hits not only helped define the Motown sound, but also the entire 1960s era of pop. Their classics included the exuberant I Can't Help Myself, Sugar Pie Honey Bunch, and the urgent Reach Out, I'll Be There, both of which hit #1, along with the barreling top 10 staples It's the Same Old Song, Standing in the Shadows of Love, and Bernadette. For a 2-year period, the Four Tops worked with Motown's celebrated songwriting and production team Holland Dozier Holland, the brothers Brian and Eddie Holland, and Lamont Dozier. After leaving the label in 1972, the quartet earned more top 10 records with Keeper of the Castle and Ain't No Woman Like the One I Got. On all the group's songs, Mr. Fakir's high, smooth voice added grace to harmonies that supported the baritone lead vocals of Levi Stubbs. The Four Tops retained their original lineup until death intervened. From 1997 to 2008, 3 members died of cancer. Mr. Fakir continued to record, and he was touring until the end of 2023, all the while taking on new singers to fill out the group's ranks while assuming the roles of both the Tops' original link and the keeper of their legacy. He officially retired this year. Abdul Karim Fakir was born in Detroit on December 26, 1935, to Nazim Ali Fakir, a factory worker who was born in Bangladesh, and Rubilin Run, a minister's daughter from Sparta, who worked as a domestic and choir director and played the piano. At Pershing High School, Duke Fakir excelled at sports. He met Mr. Stubbs at a neighborhood football game. The pair became good friends as well as musical partners, and they were soon joined by 2 other local singers, Lawrence Payton and Ronaldo Benson, who was known as Obi. The quartet originally went under the name The Four Aims, indicating their goal, success. But after being signed to Chicago-based Chess Records in 1956, the label, a dominant one in rhythm and blues, suggested that they change their name to avoid confusion with the Amish Brothers, a popular singing group. The Four Tops released a series of unsuccessful singles on Chess, Columbia, and Riverside Records before signing with Motown in 1962. We were all 5 to 7 years older than most of the Motown artists, Mr. Fakir told the label's official website. But we knew them and watched them grow up. It was like they were welcoming their big brothers home. The group graced the top 10 with their first single for Motown in 1964, Baby I Need Your Lovin'. The single remained Mr. Fakir's favorite. I thought it was the best song on the radio at the time, he told the British newspaper The Express. It changed my life completely. It even enabled me to buy my mama a house. The next year, the group hit #1 for the first time with I Can't Help Myself, Sugar Pie Honey Bunch. Over the next 2 years, they became the second most successful male vocal group on the Motown label after The Temptations. In Britain, they were the label's top act of that kind. Another rousing radio hit scored by the group included Something About You, Shake Me, Wake Me When It's Over, and Loving You Is Sweeter Than Ever. After Holland Dozier Holland left Motown in a dispute over royalties in 1967, the Four Tops' success dipped, but they still landed some top 20 hits, including, in 1970, a collaboration with the Supremes on an earlier hit for Ike and Tina Turner, River Deep, Mountain High. The group began to broaden their sound at the time. Their 1970 album, Still Waters Run Deep, provided a template for the kind of topical concept album Marvin Gaye perfected on his 1971 classic work, What's Going On? In 1972, when Motown relocated from Detroit to Los Angeles, the Four Tops elected to stay behind. I'm a Detroit man, Mr. Fakir told the city's Metro Times. I'm glad I didn't go. Instead, the group signed a new deal with ABC Dunhill, which revitalized their sound. Their debut single for the label, Keeper of the Castle, fired by a buoyant bass line and socially relevant lyrics, shot to number 10. A romantic follow-up, Ain't No Woman Like the One I Got, pierced the top 5. The group proved less successful in the later 1970s, though a deal with Casablanca Records in 1981 yielded the number 1 R&B hit, When She Was My Girl, number 11 on the pop chart. 2 years later, the Tops re-signed with Motown just in time to appear on the classic TV special, Motown 25, Yesterday, Today, Forever, on which they battled their male vocal group rivals, The Temptations, in a memorable medley. Their last top 40 hit, Indestructible, came in 1988 on an album of the same name on Arista Records. In December of that year, the group was booked on the Pan Am flights that terrorists brought down over Lockerbie, Scotland, killing 270 people. The Tops had overslept and missed the flight. In June 1997, Lawrence Payton died of liver cancer after 44 years in the group. The remaining members first toured as a trio, but the next year, they hired a former Temptation, Theo Peoples, to fill out their ranks. Obi Benson died of lung cancer in 2005. Levi Stubbs died of cancer in 2008. In 2009, Mr. Fakir was given a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. His memoir, I'll Be There, My Life Without the Four Tops, written with Kathleen McGee Anderson, was published in 2022. In early 2023, the Treasury Department filed a complaint seeking more than $500,000 in unpaid taxes from Mr. Fakir and his wife, Piper Fakir. The bulk of the debt is from the years 2001 and 2004, while the rest dates from 2011 and 2019. He is survived by his wife of 50 years, his children Farah Fakir Cook, Nazim Bashir Fakir, Abdul Karim Fakir, Mike Fakir, Anthony Fakir, and Malik Robinson, a sister, Alina Braceful, and several grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Another of his children, Kai Ain Fakir, died in 2001. Asked by Metro Times if he had ever tired of singing his decades-old hits, Mr. Fakir said, "It's a joy to see people jump up and get excited. They want to be part of it, and that's wonderful. Where else are you going to get this kind of love?" The 4 members of this group, Fakir, Levi Stubbs, Ronaldo Obi Benson, and Lawrence Payton, formed in the late 1950s but did not find success until the early 1960s. They continued to play together as a group until Payton's death in 1997. Benson and Stubbs died in 2005 and 2008 respectively. While they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1990, artist Stevie Wonder praised their skills. "The things I love about them the most, they are very professional. They have fun with what they do. They are very loving. They have always been gentlemen," he said. Fakir, the child of Ethiopian and Bangladesh immigrants, lived in Detroit his entire life and grew up in a dangerous neighborhood there, according to the Associated Press. "Once we started singing, our whole perspective of life changed," Fakir said in a 2022 interview with the Detroit News. "We just started looking at the beauty of life and traveling and being able to sing to the world and making people happy." Speaking to the Detroit Free Press, singer Smokey Robinson addressed the death of his longtime friend. "My brother, I really hate to have to say goodbye, but you've been called home by the Father to once again join Lawrence, Obi, and Levi, and make more of the heavenly music you guys made while here," Robinson said. "I'm going to miss you, my brother." In 2022, Fakir released a memoir, I'll Be There, My Life with the Four Tops. He is survived by his wife, 6 children, 13 grandchildren, and 9 great-grandchildren.